Just a gorgeous night in the Rose City, and the scene is set for the rematch between two of the top teams in the NWSL, the unbeaten Portland Thorns hosting league-leading Chicago right here at Providence Park. It's the fourth time in 5 weeks that the Thorns will face a first-place team in the NWSL, and tonight, the Red Stars in town with 18 points atop the table in the league standings. The Portland Thorns and the Washington Spirit tied for second with 17 points apiece. You're looking at the top 5 teams right now. Obviously, Washington right there with Portland, Western New York, and Orlando in the hunt as well. A Portland victory tonight will catapult them atop the table, and that's what the Portland fans are looking for tonight. Good evening, everybody. Ann Schatz joined by my broadcast partner. That's Janine Sparrow, former member of the U.S. Women's National Team. The energy in this stadium is going to be electric. Two of the best teams in the league, all the dynamic players. Should be a fun one.
It should be a great one. Like you said, numbers 1 and 2 atop the table here tonight. They've recently met to a tie, and one team thought that maybe they could have gotten away with the 3 points. The other team not completely satisfied with how they played. So a nice kind of rubber match for them to come back here and kind of show a little bit more of what they wanted to do.
Christine Sinclair, healthy, should be able to give a full 90. That's great news for Mark Parsons and the Portland Thorns. She's been very effective.
I mean, you take Sinclair anytime you can get her, right? But if you could get her for a full 90, how wonderful. Great world-class player, can do so much. Not only herself, but also a huge influence on the team. She's respected, she's strong, she's followed. She means a lot to this team, and she affects them in so many positive, great ways.
All right, how about Kristen Press for the Chicago Red Stars? Easily one of the most dynamic players in the world, and she's had great success in her career against the Portland Thorns.
I don't know how much I should talk about one of the Cardinals, you know, the Stanford girl coming out there, but great player, great in college. She's doing great things here with the national team. Talented, mobile, fast, quick, smart. She just really has it all. She's a true soccer player in the sense that she's very well-rounded and has a tremendously dangerous shot.
She has had great success, as I said, against the Thorns. So many goals in a short amount of time for Kristen Press. Easily one of the best players on the planet. All right. How about the welcome party for Amandine Henry? The French international will make her Portland debut. Will start for the Thorns. What does she bring to the table?
Well, she did get some minutes in the last game, which is nice. It's nice that she got that so that she has her home debut here starting, and then she can feel a little bit more comfortable, bring that international flavor. She's got poise, she's got talent, she's got vision, she's got it all. And she's able to bring that and kind of show, kind of solidify what Mark Parsons wants to do with the team. She fits in well. They want to play a really nice style of soccer, and she's just perfect, and so exciting to be able to see her play here.
You look at the graphic that shows exactly what she's accomplished, and she's just getting started, just a youngster as Henry. This is looked at as the biggest international signing for the WSL. Henry coming to Portland. Would you agree?
Well, she has a tremendous resume. So, I mean, the things she's been able to do, yes. And also, for the league and trying to, what I like to say, kind of the pure game and really play possession style, you know, tactically play really well, she's going to be able to raise it even more.
These two clubs really get after each other. You mentioned the fact that they played some 10 days ago to a 1-1 tie in Chicago. You look at the Thorns, they have not been defeated. You look at Chicago, they lost that opening game and haven't lost since. Something's got to give tonight. 9
straight, 8 straight.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's a very good match. And like I said, talking to Mark Parsons, he said that, you know, both teams were really disappointed. You know, Thorns wanted 3 points. Chicago feel like they didn't play very well, so they're atop the table. So there's a lot of things kind of playing into it that I think are going to be really exciting to see, and I can't wait.
High-scoring clubs, and yet the defense is stingy as all get out.
They're strong, and that's another thing that Coach Parsons talked about, is that the Thorns back line doesn't get enough, you know, words. They don't get enough attention to them, and they are really solid. So, you know, we're looking at those teams and see if anybody can break through. Like, can the things that upset them before, that they didn't get to do before in the last game, can they bring that here? Like, is today the day that they get through and kind of break down those really good defenses?
We're going to find out soon enough. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to take a little more in-depth look at Amandine Henry. She will make her Portland Thorn home debut, and she's with us, and opening lineups coming up in just a second.
Turn pizza night into family dinner night with Papa Murphy's new $5 Faves value menu. For just $5 each, add a fresh garden salad, scratch-made 5-cheese bread, a $5 Faves pizza, or chocolate chip cookie dough. Just $5. It's a real value.
2 more bites.
And real leverage. Finish your dinner with Papa Murphy's new $5 Faves value menu. Order online at papamurphys.com. Love at $5 each.
This is your house. Houses are expensive. Expenses keep life from being simple. But there's a simple way to stay ahead of expenses. Use the red key and open a hassle-free account. No monthly service charges, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance fees, no hassles. Take the first step to thriving. Use the red key to make your finances hassle-free. KeyBank. Use the red key.
So you're experiencing pain and stiffness when you do this, and burning in your arm when you do this?
So, Doc, you think you can help?
Of course we can.
You want to feel good doing what you love. Providence helps you get there. Whether you're a Major League Soccer champion or a weekend warrior, our goal is to get you back in your game. This is what it means to go beyond the park.
Hi, I'm looking for my first Toyota.
The Corolla is a great choice. It's super reliable, so it'll be with you for a lot of firsts.
Wow, I'm really going places.
In a Corolla, right?
During Toyota time, get 0.9% APR financing for 72 months on a reliable 2016 Corolla. Offer ends May 31st. For great deals on other Toyotas, visit Toyota.com.
First things first, your keys.
Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Portland. The Thorns and Red Stars minutes away from kickoff. Big news out of the Rose City. Amandine Henry will make her home debut for the Thorns. She's out of France, considered one of the best players in the world, and will play in the United States for the first time wearing Thorns gear. What is it about the Portland Thorns? What is it about the NWSL that brought you from France to the Rose City?
Portland is a good team. It's a great challenge for me, and I want to win the championship. Yes, and in France, I have a win to gagner. Come on.
I've won everything.
I won everything, and I want to discover the Champions League American.
You're going to walk into this stadium, and there will be 16,000 people screaming their heads off. The experience, what are you hoping to experience here in front of such big crowds?
In Portland, it's amazing for a great stadium, and I'm so excited to play in this stadium.
Your style of play, how will that complement the Thorns soccer team?
Oui, I hope to bring my experience at the team, and I would like your experience at me.
For myself. Wait.
For myself.
The Thorns delighted to have Henry in the fold. She will make her start and debut in terms of the starting lineup for the Thorns tonight. Let's take a look at all of Portland's starting 11. Betos gets the nod between the pipes. She was brilliant against Seattle her last time out. Thorns' back line has been aces. The rookie Emily Sonnet has drawn rave reviews from head coach Mark Parsons.
Yes, he's talked about his defensive line and how they're a little, not underrated, but just they don't get a lot of, mention. And that Emily Sonnet as a youngster has come in and really solidified them. She's acting as a field general, tremendously great in organization, and really got everybody on the same page, which is huge from such a young player.
Henry and Long are holding mids. Haran will roam. Nadeem and Heath out wide. Captain Sink up top for the Red Stars. Nair will start in goal. She has been absolutely brilliant. Julie Johnston anchors a very stingy defense. Great having Short healthy and playing. Keep your eyes on Vanessa DiBernardo. She is the field general in the midfield. Up top, the always dangerous press. Huerta Had a brace against Boston last time out. Keep your eye on her, too.
She's a super dangerous player. I've always liked her. I think she's really good as far as technically, tactically. She's very mobile. She moves around. She has great combination with both DiBernardo and Motz on the outside. So, I mean, just expect a lot from her. So you can't just key on press. If press can hurt you, but so can Huerta and the rest of the team.
The Chicago Red Stars atop the table with their 5-1-3 record with 18 points. 2-1-1 on the road. Red Stars 0 losses since that opening thumping. They haven't lost since. The Portland Thorns at 4-0-5, tied for second with 17 points, have yet to taste defeat in the NWSL season. Thorn kits red from stem to stern. Road kits for the Chicago Red Stars. Those blue socks and shorts, striped shirts, and we are underway. The Portland Thorns and Chicago Red Stars, presented by Providence Health and Services. We mentioned in the open, Janine, that these clubs met in Chicago just 10 days ago. The Thorns opening up the scoring on a Sinclair goal, but then Press doing her usual thing. A shot that even surprised Mark Parsons, but she'll shoot anywhere, and that was the equalizer. It ended at 1-1.
She can hit from, over 30 yards, and she has a very, very quick release. So you give her just that ball space, that, the distance of one soccer ball, and she can get it off as quick as anything.
Beautiful night for soccer here. Wind's not a factor. Temperature, low 70s. Nice cloud cover for the players, and another great crowd on hand here at Providence Park.
This is great soccer weather. This is the kind of game you want to play in, The sun's not in your eyes. It's a nice temperature on the field. It's just perfect, and especially here in Portland, this is just a gorgeous night.
Michelle Betos getting the nod between the pipes. Our presenting sponsor, McDonald's. They've been with us through thick and thin.
You can see some good energy out of the Thorns, really coming after it. Horan giving a little bit of pressure to the ball, really working hard from the beginning whistle.
Kind of wondering before the season started, Janine, how Chicago would fare this season. They lost so many players to retirement or getting traded or what have you. And you look at the leadership of a Kolupny, for example, leaving due to retirement. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And yet Rory Dames has his club right here, right now, playing great soccer, and they're the team to chase right now.
Yeah, when you watch Chicago play, you can see they're organized, they work hard, they have good movement. They're a very good, solid team. And these players, have good pedigrees coming from really great colleges where they've got that experience behind them at that level. And they're able to step up in these games and really show, kind of the level of our country and where soccer is.
Both of these clubs very young, with dynamic faces, personalities, and great presence on the pitch. You look at Portland's defense, Janine, they've only allowed 5 goals. That's best in the league. Chicago, though, has only allowed 6, tied for second, so stingy defenses.
Yeah, and Lisnair's doing a great job in goal for Chicago. She's got to be one of, if not the top keeper right now. She's the player of the month last month, just doing a fantastic job. And their coach talked about her and what he wanted to do this coming year and what a big piece she has become in that lineup and what she's done for the team.
Here's Reynolds, the cross in the box. Sinclair almost gets a foot on it, disrupted though by the Red Stars defense.
Good to see an early connection up in the box for the Thorns. Still working the ball around. They're doing a great job. They've come out. They've got some good energy, and Mark Parsons also talked about that.
Bringing numbers high, the Portland Thorns, and getting into the offensive action. Remember, Chicago can't counter. Heath leaving it. Horan. Right back to Long. Alley has been so close to finding the back of the net, has yet, though, to score this season. Obviously, Long not playing in a as high a position this year as last year, so the goals, you can't expect as many as last season.
Yeah, but she's really, done a great job in that holding mid section. She has gotten through, she does go, there's a little bit of exchanging, but she's embraced the position. That's what the team needed, and she's willing to fill that role and do the best, and you can see it's been very successful.
Nadine just flicks off DiBernardo. Ball stays in Portland's offensive third.
Horan trying to be a little bit of cheeky. I think she was looking for the Meg on that one.
We're early in the match here at Providence Park. League-leading Chicago in town. Thorns finally home. It seems like they've been on the road forever, and Chicago now is the club that will face a bit of a road swing.
Yeah, there's nothing like knocking out almost about half of your road games like all at one time and then coming back.
Portland, 9-game unbeaten streak. Chicago, 8-match unbeaten streak. Threading the needle, the attempt there by Sinclair. Dangerous here, Sinclair! And there's the game's first goal! Sink has done it again! So a defensive breakdown by the Chicago Red Stars, and Captain Sink was quick to pounce.
There's a lot of great pressures. They're trying to get in good combinations between Nadine and Sinclair. But again, that follow-up, that constant pressure that the Thorns have come out with from the beginning, you can see it just causes the turnover. Because they're there, because they're pressing, they're right on that back and able to capitalize on it.
Julie Johnston with a rare mistake in that 6-yard box, and Nair had no chance. Sinclair just hawkish on that ball and finishes. She has now scored in 3 straight.
That's a high work rate from the Thorns. Like I said, they've really come out. Mark Parsons talked about the energy and how it can kind of go throughout the team, and they were on the same page and came out strong from the beginning, and that's what comes of that really great pressure and that great energy early in the game.
Sinclair showing the emotion. She has now scored in consecutive games against Chicago and 3 straight overall. And imperative for the Thorns, as they have seen Chicago come back from 1- and 2-0 deficits against Portland. They've got to just keep the pressure on, Janine.
They do. If they can, be consistent and keep up, like you said, with that pressure, you're going to get those little turnovers, little things. You can create opportunities for yourself.
So Sinclair's goal in the 6th minute on a defensive breakdown by the Chicago Red Stars gives Portland the early 1-0 lead. Amandine Henry making her home debut, wearing number 28. She'll be in the mix. Heath doing her thing. Beautiful tackle and defense. Chicago, that goal they just gave up, that is not like the Red Stars. They usually play it compact and tight and don't give up an inch.
No, you're right. And, like I said, those things kind of happen, especially early in the game when you're trying to settle in. The early pressure causes things, and you want to come out after a team, especially when you're home, not let them get comfortable. Establish your rhythm, establish basically that this is your home, that you're dominant here, and that they're going to have a really tough road ahead. Ooh. Great little outside the foot, just trying to redirect that ball in.
Henry so close to finding the back of the net.
Great ball in by Tobin Heath, kind of goes over the top, just gets a little something on it.
You mentioned the fact that Henry made her Portland debut on the road with the club in that 2-0 victory at Western New York. Came in as off the bench for Parsons. You knew she'd be starting tonight. Great ball. Betos comes out. Oh boy.
Looks like a save by the 12th player.
Betos came way off her line, and how that shot didn't find the back of the net. Chicago's thinking, are you kidding me?
Thorns got a little lucky. They were slightly disorganized on that play with 2 players in the middle, basically unmarked, able to slip that ball in. Sometimes you got to appreciate the post.
Hardware happening tonight. The equalizer on a silver plate and pallet for Chicago. And that obviously would have really changed the tenor of this match.
A little pressure, though, from Betos. She was high enough on the ball that forced that shot perhaps a little bit early. So again, that same kind of idea, you know, if you don't give someone a lot of time on the ball, it makes the situation a lot harder.
Short with the one hop to Betos. So how close was Huerta? She had a brace last game. Oh man, had definitely beaten Betos, no doubt about it. But smack dab right off that post. There's a gift for the Thorns.
Yeah, that's only about 4 inches away from really being a goal.
Oh man. You know, the big news out of Chicago, of course, is, hey, how come Huerta can't score when she's on the field with press? All of her goals comes when press is gone with the U.S. team. Well, she had a brace last time out with press on the pitch and almost scored tonight.
There's something to be said, you know, if your coach or if the players, you know, feel like you're needed, and sometimes it's you know, unspoken, but it's nice to feel like you are needed. With Kristen Press, I mean, she's just so amazing that you know, Huerta might have the idea that, okay, like, I know someone else is going to take care of it. So trying to bring those things together takes a little bit of time. And but still, quality player. Huerta does, again, very mobile, moves around the field, works really hard. And I think they'll come. I think her goals will come.
Good defense by the Red Stars. Dispossess and on the attack again.
Very quick transition from Chicago.
Boy, Press just barely missed timing that run as she skidded over that pass right near the spot kick area. You know that Press will be hovering.
You could see Henri was very patient, though. She's the one that kind of followed the player into the middle, cleared that ball very calmly, complete confidence, and just got it outside to kind of relieve pressure.
Speaking of Henri, beautiful disruption there, but here's Chicago again, keeping that ball in their offensive end of things. Short work and hard. DiBernardo into space, but really for nobody. And knocked out off of short as Sonnet was right there to cover. Follow the Thorns with flights to over 40 cities. Alaska Airlines serves from Portland, including Boston, Dallas, and 4 LA area airports. For Alaska's lowest prices, visit alaskaair.com. Sam Johnson goes right back to Nair.
Very safe play from Nair. She doesn't try to do too much with it. She just clears the on-running or on-rushing forward to the side, which is, again, very calm, very nice goalkeeping. Just kind of put it out of play.
Sinclair dispossessed. Nicely played there by Colaprico. And the whistle will go against the Thorns. So Sinclair's goal in the 6th minute, giving Portland the 1-0 lead, her 3rd goal of the season. That ties her with Horan for team lead. Press leading everybody in the league with her 4 goals. Leads the league in goals, shots on goal. Everywhere is Kristen Press. Into space. This is a patient Chicago attack. Henri heads it right to the Red Stars, and they're going to reload again. Blocked by Long.
interesting to see the assignments and see how Henri does in the middle as far as picking up those midfielders coming through. There's a little bit of, not miscommunication, but a slight lack of communication, it looks like, defensively from the Thorns.
No problem there for Betos. Huerta hitting the post minutes after Sinclair's opening goal. The two teams playing that 1-1 tie in Chicago. The Red Stars erasing the 1-0 Portland lead when Press was able to bury one in the second half, the equalizer, and that's how things stood at 1-1. Press all over Long. Beautiful job by Press to disrupt. Crowd wanted a foul.
A little surprised there wasn't that first foul on Long. But
well, she retaliates a little bit. Not retaliates, but it's kind of a frustration foul, and she's nicked for that one.
Kind of see she gets clipped a little bit there. Gets up, and then at that point, everybody's watching, so it's a little bit more obvious, I think, on the second one.
So free kick for the Red Stars here in the 16th minute.
Sometimes off the free kick, you know, see if they soften the goalkeeper up a little bit with a straight shot, or look to serve kind of with the runs, starting back in the back of the D, top of the D. If they're looking to serve, it'll be interesting to see what they do in their first free kick.
Colaprico, one hop. I like the idea. Boy, skying over that crossbar, though, is Motz's shot.
Caught a little of offside, so run was a little bit early. But it's a great service in, right to her. Ball is just slightly behind her, probably because she left too soon.
Both of these clubs have the luxury of two really quality keepers. Portland with the 1-2 punch of Betos and French, while Chicago comes at you with Nair and Michelle Dalton. When Dalton is called upon, she is really, really good for this Chicago club. They don't miss a beat. And obviously French is coming off that tremendous game in the victory against Western New York. She's got the 3 clean sheets for the Portland Thorns, but Betos in goal tonight.
Again, it's one of those good problems to have when you have quality and depth in positions.
France with a bit of a knock in that Western New York match and victory. Didn't train the other day, so yeah. The Thorns don't drop off when the veteran Betos leads the charge from the goalkeep area. Here's Sonnet.
A little far on the outside, lining up, looks like, for the serve.
Heath looking to climb the ladder.
Beautiful ball, put in that really difficult spot, not toward, it's toward the goalkeeper, but outside the 6 where she has to make a decision. Can't quite get the run onto it to get it to generate enough power to really make it a big threat.
Bends away from Heath, and it's Haran who gets the head on it. We've seen Haran score via the header. And at 5'9" is a great target. Betos better hurry here. Press was bearing down.
Well played. You can see Sonnet is trying to direct and give really good instructions to what's going on and where the opening space is for Betos to play to.
Just great defense by Henri, not faked out at all by the back tap pass, and dispossesses Chicago. Terrific defense. But again, the Red Stars continuing to keep that ball at their feet. They'll build it from the back here, but they've had the ball quite a bit in Portland's defensive third lately. Nadine looking for help on this near sideline, and here's Reynolds.
Chicago looking to step up the pressure now and winning that ball.
Press had an idea, has to hold her line down this near sideline, and here's Press.
So calm and such great vision from Kristen Press.
Good defense by the Thorns again. Colaprico is really looking for that ball from distance, but the Thorns step in nicely. Long into space for Sink. Sink doesn't really have a whole lot of numbers with her, so she'll bring it out and leave it for Long.
It's always fun to see those battles or those matchups when you see Johnson against Sink.
Into the 18. Horan goes down hard. Just good, clean, physical soccer there. Short will carry. Beautiful tackle by Nadine to dispossess. Whistle finally blows. Chicago in the 21st minute looking for the equalizer.
Tried to slip Puerto through on that ball from Di Bernardo. Just kind of ran out of space a little bit. It was a good idea. You can see Chicago's really good in transition and really good moving the ball forward.
10:30 a.m. means nothing anymore. You ask for it, you've got it. All-day breakfast finally here at your locally owned McDonald's. Ball knocked around, and again, smartly played by Chicago. They'll play wide on the far side. Miss hit there. And again, Chicago almost mopping up the defensive miscue. So very close to the equalizer. DaCosta would love to have that one back.
Again, there's a decent connection between the Chicago players, and you know, Kristen Press, just a little bit of space, gets the ball in the turnover and fires away.
DaCosta and Press, the 1-2 there. Both defenses have opened the door a bit tonight, Janine, and obviously Sinclair was able to mop up when there was a miscommunication between Johnston and Nair. And that's the one goal we've seen, but Chicago has had some chances.
Yeah, you know, we talked about the one playing the two and their recent, you know, game with each other 1-1, and how one team maybe didn't play as well and one really wanted the 3 points. I think you see that energy. You know, they came out, they're pressuring, they're working. You know, Lindsey Horan is all over this field playing a lot of defense. You know, Sinclair is moving around up top. You've got Chicago interchanging, playing. You know, Kristen Press is ready to kind of finish that ball just in seconds. So there's a lot of really good movement, energy, and a high-paced game.
Press takes it right away from Horan. Traffic cop here. Short on the near sideline.
Great tracking by Sonnet to follow Huerta in as they're trying to find that seam in between the two center backs.
Janine, where's Portland's offense been the last 5 minutes?
I think waiting for the ball.
Sloppy turnover by Heath. She's kicking herself there.
They were getting caught a little bit in the kind of, what we say, you know, little small-sided games where they're on the sidelines, kind of turnover, not being able to play that ball in and really get it up to Sink up top, who can hold it or exchange with the players from underneath. So they got caught there, and the game kind of tightened a little bit.
1-0, 24th minute. Great crowd here at Providence Park. The Thorns haven't had many home games, that's for sure. This is only their 4th home game. All those road matches, Portland yet to suffer a defeat. Sinclair will control, and on this near sideline find Nadim. Advantage, Portland, play on. Nadim.
It's not a bad shot from Nadim. She is looking up and facing a 1v5 and decides to hit it. Again, some good speed on the ball. She hit it well, but it's kind of, you know, a little bit far out to expect very much on that one.
Results in a Thorns corner. Heath, as per usual, she's got Klingenberg right here in the short corner if she'd like it, but the swinger could send that rocketing right into the 18 or 6. Goal number 2 for the Portland Thorns.
It looks like it came off maybe Horan's head, but I think there was another touch on it right before it went in. It might have been Nadia Nadim.
So let's make sure we've got this right. Nadim looked like she had the last touch.
Great ball in by Tobin Heath. Always good on service.
Yep.
And it's actually, I think, Henri that got up and touched it first.
Well, let's see it. Henri for sure got her head on it there, and then boop, right there from Nadim.
Not bad positioning by Nadim, I tell you. That's great work in the box. We talked about the short corner, and Klingenberg was in the outside, and I was almost about to say there's not really a need for a short corner when you got service from Tobin Heath. Just a great ball in. You've got players on the end of it can do something with it. Both Horan and Henri in the same place, very well positioned. And then Nadim just kind of causing a little trouble in traffic up top, was able to get a touch. Awesome.
Nadim's
a great goal.
Yeah, it was Nadim's 3rd goal of the season. And that's a huge goal for the Portland Thorns. And again, it's Tobin Heath who just sets the table like nobody else in this league, having a superb year with a beautiful ball that Nadim was able to track after Henri got the initial head on it.
Got to be careful, though. You know, we always say, what is 2-0 in soccer?
I know, the worst lead or
the most dangerous.
Most
dangerous lead. Yeah, most dangerous lead.
Two 2-0 Thorns. Sinclair with the goal in the 6th minute. Huerta hits the post in the 9th minute. That would have been the equalizer. And now the Thorns off the corner kick, finding the back of the net thanks to Nadia Nadim. A rare opportunity for the Portland Thorns to really build on a lead. Usually Chicago doesn't give up more than 1 goal per match. If I'm not mistaken, Janine, the only time the Chicago Red Stars have given up more than 2 goals in a match is that opener when they got thumped by Houston 3-1.
Yeah, very solid, you know, with their goalkeeping and Julie Johnston and that rest of that back line. Chicago's done an excellent job.
Look out, press, so clever here. Dispossessed by Henri. Beautiful job by Amandine against the dangerous press. Chicago, though, not finished.
No, they're right on it. I mean, the pace and the way in which they transition, go straight into the attack is really, really good out of Chicago.
Nadim cuts it back nicely, but gives it right to Colaprico. Again, Huerta so dangerous with that shot just wide.
She did not miss by much, and she didn't take very much time. Again, a couple little steps and touches, quick release just like press. Again, very dangerous player, great soccer player.
Huerta with that sensational campaign as a rookie last year with the 6 goals and 3 assists.
Great coverage by Betos on that shot as well. She was right there for it.
Huerta has been so active tonight. Had that brace against Boston last time out, resulting in a Chicago victory. She has been the target of a lot of services for good reason. Betos, no problem there off her line.
I tell you, Chicago gets forward. I keep talking about their transition. Well, they've got 7 players going forward and about 5 in the box. So they're really pushing. They push the outside backs. They push their midfielders. They really go forward. They're meaning to attack.
Dangerous here, DiBernardo. Blocked by Long. Chicago still with the ball. Press just misses getting a foot on that thing right in front of the 6.
Little surprised Press wasn't offsides on that one, but she is really fast. She has great timing as well, and they look for that ball over the top quite often, and they catch people because, you know, she can start from behind and still beat you. She's that quick and fast.
Press is so dangerous, and she has been fantastic against the Portland Thorns. 5 goals scored against Portland, including the equalizer this season. She had that brace in 2015. She had the brace in 2014 against the Thorns. She has had tremendous success against Portland. Sinclair battling.
Well, I think so far this game is everything that we were talking about. You know, we're looking at that 1st and 2nd place teams that are ready to come at each other. This is just a great game, super exciting and fun to see. Great soccer. The introduction of Henri, you know, at home here in Portland, and Chicago just really like pulling out the stops, going for it. They're really trying to attack and move that ball forward.
Long. Unlucky there for Chicago. And Reynolds is able to combine with Nadim. There's the foul and the whistle finally going against Motts. Long with the quick restart, switches fields. Heath will shield and leave it for Kling. Klingenberg. Heath so dangerous, 1v1. Slides it. Henri skies it.
Her first real shot struck well. I tell you, I really want to get some kind of timing on Tobin Heath's feet. Her feet are so quick.
Put a GPS on those feet.
Yeah. And Henri just, you know, great first time shot, just unleashes it. Great strike.
Tobin looking for Amandine the whole time, dancing. And Henri, not a bad shot, obviously a little high, but there was the rocket. Sinclair's gonna hustle for the quick throw in. Johnson had knocked it out. And here's Reynolds. Beautiful ball to Nadim, poaching a little bit. Smartly played there by the Chicago defense. Johnston right there in perfect position.
What a great ball over the top.
The direct style that many teams are playing. Huerta switching fields. Colaprico. Press. Blocked by Heath. Press battling, dangerous ball here. Sonic gets ahead on it again. The shot wide, Motts, not a lot of pace and wide all the way.
I tell you, it doesn't always end in a goal, but some of the things that Chicago is doing, a great ball over the top from from Press. You can see, you know, it's unfortunate for Chicago, but bent ball into Huerta, then switch the field to the other side, and that's what leads to the possibility of the shot and the chance on goal. Just some really good ball movement and passing from Chicago.
Press just never quits and challenges at every turn. Overrun there by Mott, so here's Heath. Both teams using the width of the field, trying to spread that defense. And Henry looks for a little space, but then comes right back to the sideline. Back pass Henry. Into space. Nadim, can she catch up with it? Knocks it right off of short. Good hustle by Nadim.
So if you talk about the subtleties of the game and just the passing, and Mark Parsons talked about this, some things that seem really simple we don't always pay attention to, but Henry's passing and just the speed at which he passes, meaning the weight of the pass, a perfectly played ball in, gets it back, plays Nadim in. In my mind, Nadim's got to like put her foot out to try to get that ball a little quicker to attack the goal, because the ball slipped in was beautiful.
Corner kick, Heath. Well driven.
That wasn't far. That wasn't off by much.
Just missing. You love the services from Heath, and Sonnet climbing the ladder, almost had herself her first goal. Good hops at 5'7" for the rookie.
She's had great headers on both ends. Some great defensive headers to clear the ball, and then up top in the box, missing only by maybe 6 inches.
'37th minute, 2-0 Thorns. Leading Chicago in a battle of 1 and tied for 2. The Thorns with Washington at 17 points. Chicago all alone atop the table with 18 points. Both squads at full strength. The United States national team camp, as it trains for the upcoming Rio Games, begins July 1. So critical game for both of these clubs. Canada July 1 as well. France, not sure quite yet when Amandine has to report, as her club, obviously, her French national team will live large at the Olympics. Johnson sends it right back to Nair. Nair with the 5 shutouts. Nobody better than that in the NWSL. But Portland has nicked this Thorns defense and Nair for 2 goals already. But boy, how close Chicago has been.
You can see there's quite a few balls that, just talked about Sonnet on both ends with her head. Just cut out another ball, a great challenge to clear any kind of danger coming into the Portland defense. She's doing an excellent job of stopping things before they even become a problem.
Nadim doing a nice job to shield short from that, and Sonnet wants to cut it back. Reynolds right off of deep Bernardo. VCA Animal Hospitals want to give one fan the ultimate Thorns and VCA prize pack. Post a photo of your pets in Thorns or VCA gear on social media with the hashtag #ThornsVCAPets. One winner will be chosen to receive tickets to a match, a meet and greet with a Thorns FC player, and more. Visit thornsfca.com for details.
Klingenberg getting up on the front line. I don't know about you, but I'm having so much fun watching this. It's a great game.
It's been terrific. I mean, obviously, some of the best players in the league are just littering the pitch here at Providence Park.
And in the world, like,
yeah, good point.
It's a fairly good representation.
Speaking of in the world, what's your take of Henri's performance in a starting role for the Thorns tonight?
I think good, solid performance so far. I think there's still a little bit of getting to know each other. She's made quite a few, 2 to 3 runs that are very similar to her playing partners. So you want to work out the details of that. But, you know, like Mark said, if you watch some of the things she does, and some of it's very subtle, it's just, it looks, when something's really good, it looks easy. And she does things really well, and she makes it look easy. So sometimes I think it gets missed. Again, Sonnet, great challenges with Huerta.
Well, that has been one heck of a matchup. Huerta so active this evening. Had a rocket hit the post minutes after Sink had opened up the scoring, and then had another blistering shot just wide of the far post.
Thorns doing a great job of spreading the field. Able to find that space to get up front.
Heath again inviting the 1v1. Heath nearing the 6.
Cheeky, she's so cheeky.
The Thorns doing a really nice job of inviting Heath into help defense, if you will.
Again, you know, it's another thing that people don't talk about, but the subtle things that Heath does, they look impressive because she's in the box, but you know what she's going to do. She's creative. She doesn't do the obvious. And a lot of times in soccer, what we do is we do what our coaches tell us. Get in line, hit the ball, get in line, hit the ball. And she gets in line and she's actively looking for the options and what's the best choice, and finds the best choice. And so while, again, it doesn't always look super hard, she's making great impacts and doing really great things in the game.
The subtleties and the nuances. 42nd minute. You saw Sonnet waving her hand. She wanted the offside call. It didn't come, and Reynolds and company smartly played on.
Yeah, she's made a few comments. Like, she's definitely comfortable and feels strong in her role. And again, that's that field general that Mark Parsons talked about, which is great to see from a young player. You have to do that as a center back. You don't have time to play the young card, I would say. And, you know, I'm uncomfortable. I can't do this or that. No, you've got to step in. You've got to do your job. And that's the most important thing for players to do.
Klingenberg just flicks it right back. There's Menges. Parsons just raves about his back line, and both goalkeepers, with all the firepower that Portland has at the mid and forward positions, a lot of times the defense goes a little under the radar, but not to Parsons. And obviously you, a former keeper, not to you. I like that ball in the middle of the field, and here's Henri, head up.
Great build-up, isn't it?
Yep. Reynolds sends it right back to Long, and it's Horan with the touch to herself and collects nicely. Klingenberg. I'll tell you what, Gilliland has been terrific on that far sideline, and she and Heath have had some wonderful battles 1v1.
Yeah, she hasn't given up anything, has she?
Gilliland, first Kentucky player, I believe, drafted by a club in the NWSL. And she has really been solid for Dames. Heath smartly leaving it for Nadim, and then will fill space. Gets it right back. Henry with the run. You like the idea. Nadim, though, couldn't quite catch up. 45th minute. 2-0 Thorns league-leading Chicago.
It'll be interesting to see as they come out after halftime. Is that same kind of energy? You know, will it be the tale of two different games, or the same game that continues? You know, it's always hard. And again, that 2-0 so far. The reason we call it the most dangerous, that one goal gets scored, you know, it's a one-goal game. So will they be confident? Will they, you know, take it to task and make sure that they come out the same way the second half that they did the first half?
Well, with players like Press and Huerta ready to score goals for Chicago, you know, a 2-0 lead isn't safe.
Correct, yeah, definitely.
So went 1 minute minimum of, in terms of stoppage time. And it's going to be imperative, as far as the Thorns defense is concerned, to not fall asleep. We saw what Heath did in stoppage time a few games ago in the first half to score a goal.
You know, and that's another thing that Coach Parsons talked about. In that last game, you know, Chicago may not have been happy because there was a bit of, not a lull, but a little bit of low energy, and that kind of caught through the Thorns as well. And maybe they didn't have as much energy as they could have either, which is hard to imagine, because it looks like these players that always play are the ones that really love the game. And when you look out there now at this game and these players, you know, attacking and defending and really working hard, you know, that's what you want to see out of them, and you can see that they love the game. So my guess is that second half is going to be even better when they come out.
I think it's going to be a barn burner. And this half isn't over yet. Just wide again. Huerta, my goodness. She has done everything but find the back of the net. She's been ever so dangerous, but nothing doing for Chicago, as Portland will take a 2-0 lead into the locker room. Sink opening the scoring early in this match, and then off a set piece, a corner kick, Nadim is able to flick that header past Nair, and that's where we stand, 2-0 at the break. Portland Thorns head coach Mark Parsons will be joining us in a few seconds before heading into the locker room. Mark, thanks for joining us. Your take on the very entertaining first half.
Entertaining for the neutral. Hearts going down here. I think good and negative on the defending is we want them with the ball because they get big and open and we can hit them on the break, and I think that's happened. The negative is once it gets into our pressing zones, we haven't got pressure on the ball, and that's led to them getting deliveries in and picking up second balls.
Is that what you're going to talk to them at halftime about? Is that pressure on the ball?
Yeah, we want to pressure them in certain areas, but once they get into that area, we got to press, and I don't think we did. We ended up being very casual on defending, and then on the offensive side, we had to be a bit more flexible. We were very rigid in our shape, and then once we released Lindsay to go and get in lower pockets and overload those areas, we started to break their very good press, and once we broke it, I think we were cooking there.
Mark, thanks for taking the time.
All right, all the best.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Cheers.
That's Thorns head coach Mark Parsons breaking the first half down. His Thorns leading Chicago 2-0. Nadia Nadim's goal gave Chicago the build out of a whole deficit. 2-0 Thorns. KeyBank halftime show will commence in just a moment.
The car wasn't made in Detroit, or Tokyo, or Mexico City. This, the Mini Clubman, was crafted in Oxford, England. a place where mass production isn't all that massive. And each car is engineered, customized, tuned, and crafted one at a time. Introducing the new Mini Clubman, made in Oxford.
Mini of Portland, proud sponsor of the Portland Thorns and Timbers 2. We make it fun.
So you're experiencing pain and stiffness when you do this, and burning in your arm when you do this?
So, Doc, you think you can help?
Of course we can.
You want to feel good doing what you love. Providence helps you get there. Whether you're a Major League Soccer champion or a weekend warrior, our goal is to get you back in your game. This is what it means to go beyond the park.
The world is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, and today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
Welcome to the KeyBank halftime show here at Providence Park. The hometown Portland Thorns leading Chicago. It's 2-0 at halftime. The Thorns coming out of the gates in a hurry. Hey, a quick note, special note for fans attending Sunday's Timbers match here at Providence Park. All guests entering Providence Park are now subject to enhanced security screening procedures. This is going to include metal detector screening before entering all Timbers and Thorns matches. With the new policies in place, we are encouraging all fans to arrive early for matches. That will minimize wait times and potential delays entering Providence Park. You know, the Portland Thorns and Portland Timbers combine to do a lot of wonderful things in this community. One of those instances is the Stand Together Week. And just recently, the Timbers and Thorns went out into the community. They got all kinds of volunteers rallying together. And the Thorns ended up going to a park in North Portland and hanging out with kids with the Four Worlds United Soccer Alliance.
In one of the first meetings you had with the whole team, you were stressing just how lucky the team is to have this fan base, this community, and now it's a chance to give back. How important is that to you?
Yeah, one of our core values is pride, and pride in our community is a key thing. They give so much to us, a lot of the fans, and that's the cool thing. I remember one of the games, you looked around the stadium, there was people of all ages, and young kids and families, and some older people there ready to cheer us on, and for us as a team and our players, and making sure that we contribute to the community and get out there and hopefully inspire a few people to pick up the soccer ball and get out there.
Getting out here, playing with some of the kids who grow up here in Portland, being new to the city and getting to come out here and actually get to play and meet some people, it's been great. I think they look up to us, and you know, if we can inspire someone in any way, then we're ready to do that.
It makes me so happy to be able to just hang out with these guys, spend time with them, and put a smile on their face and just have fun with them. That's something that, as a professional athlete, I feel like that's pretty much your job, is to try to impact the youth and the next generation. So I had such a great time.
All right, folks. The score, if you're a Thorns fan, you're jacked up. It's 2-0 Thorns leading Chicago. We're at halftime. Right around the corner, our KeyBank halftime show will continue, and we have got highlights. Janine and I will be back in just a second to break that first half down.
Hi, I'm looking for my first Toyota.
The Corolla is a great choice. It's super reliable, so it'll be with you for a lot of firsts.
Wow, I'm really going places.
In a Corolla, right?
during Toyota time. Get 0.9% APR financing for 72 months on a reliable 2016 Corolla. Offer ends May 31st. For great deals on other Toyotas, visit Toyota.com.
First, your keys.
Toyota, let's go places.
So you're experiencing pain and stiffness when you do this, and burning in your arm when you do this?
So, Doc, you think you can help?
Of course we can.
You want to feel good doing what you love. Providence helps you get there. Whether you're a Major League Soccer champion or a weekend warrior, our goal is to get you back in your game. This is what it means to go beyond the park.
This is your house. Houses are expensive. Expenses keep life from being simple. But there's a simple way to stay ahead of expenses. Use the red key and open a hassle-free account. No monthly service charges, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance fees, no hassles. Take the first step to thriving. Use the red key to make your finances hassle-free. KeyBank. Use the red key.
This car wasn't made in Detroit, or Tokyo, or Mexico City. This, the Mini Clubman, was crafted in Oxford, England, a place where mass production isn't all that massive. And each car is engineered, customized, tuned, and crafted one at a time. Introducing the new Mini Clubman, made in Oxford.
Mini of Portland, proud sponsor of the Portland Thorns and Timbers 2. We make it fun.
Our KeyBank halftime show continues from Providence Park in Portland, Oregon. The Portland Thorns leading Chicago 2-0 at halftime. A battle of the NWSL's two of their best, and Portland leading it 2-0 at the break. Ann and Janine with you. It's been a good first half for the Portland Thorns. They've dodged a few bullets, but they found the back of the net as well.
They have, two great goals. They did get a little bit lucky, one off the post, a couple, near the post, but really good game, a really quality game that you'd expect to see. That doesn't always happen, but is happening tonight here.
So Christine Sinclair opening the scoring early in this match in the 6th minute, taking advantage of a defensive miscue by the Red Stars.
So it's nice, again, Christine has been working hard this whole game, and she's able to, get the ball in there, and they just kind of keep pressing. Ball gets loose, and she just counters, hits it at first time.
Sync with the emotion here. You see the finish from a different look here. Sinclair just hanging around that 6.
Just nice. They never stopped. They just kept running, just kept pressing, and that's what happens when you work hard. It gets rewarded.
Minutes later, Chicago pressing for the equalizer. You'll see Huerta hit the hardware big time.
This is a great shot again. She releases pretty quick, right smack off the post.
Boy, a lucky break there for the Thorns defense. But here's the second goal that gave Portland a little breathing room.
Great service from Heath as usual. You can always count on her to deliver a quality ball. You've got people in the right places. Henri gets up, rises up, and then Nadim again in a great place and just flicks it in over the top.
So Nadim and Sinclair with goals for the Portland Thorns in front of a huge crowd here at Providence Park, and that's where we stand at the break. 2-0, the Thorns leading the Chicago Red Stars, and a Portland victory means the Thorns go atop the table in the NWSL.
So you're experiencing pain and stiffness when you do this, and burning in your arm when you do this?
So, Doc, you think you can help?
Of course we can.
You want to feel good doing what you love. Providence helps you get there. Whether you're a Major League Soccer champion or a weekend warrior, our goal is to get you back in your game. This is what it means to go beyond the park.
The world is a curious place, full of puzzles still waiting to be solved. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, and today, another enigma rises out of the clouds. Who is the face on the tail?
Turn pizza night into family dinner night with Papa Murphy's new $5 Faves value menu. For just $5 each, add a fresh garden salad, scratch-made 5-cheese bread, a $5 Faves pizza, or chocolate chip cookie dough. Just $5. It's a real value.
2 more bites.
And real leverage. Finish your dinner with Papa Murphy's new $5 Faves value menu. Order online at papamurphys.com. Love at $5 each.
The Portland Thorns leading Chicago at the break. Halftime darn near over here at Providence Park. The Thorns finally getting back home, Janine. It's been a while since they've been here at Providence Park. This is only the 4th home game for the Thorns. The good news is after Orlando coming up with a quick turnaround, a lot of home games for the Thorns.
Yeah, it's nice. You know, again, like I said before, they kind of knocked out a bunch of those away games all at the same time. So it'll be nice for them to be back at Providence Park, get to see them a little bit more and a little bit more regularly, which is awesome through the summer.
That game at Orlando will be a true test for the Thorns, obviously, in the heat and humidity there. Alex Morgan coming at her former group, and the Thorns looking to pick up vital points before the July 1 training camp usher, if you will, with the respective national teams, United States and Canada.
Yeah, you know, they want the points. It's important to do it, but it's also important to, like, set themselves up in a good place for when the team changes a little bit. So, like I said, points are always important. They want to make sure that they get as many as they can, make sure that they put themselves in a really good place on the table.
Amandine Henry making her home debut for the Portland Thorns, starting as well. Your take on her play this season? I mean, she brings such just a litany of props. Your take on her game on the pitch tonight?
She does. You know, again, I love seeing international players. I love seeing everybody play. I like seeing them play together. The things that she brings, again, a little bit more of the subtleties of the game that we've seen so far. There's a little bit of, you know, that communication has to work itself out between her playing pairs, the person next to her when she's going through and on runs. But that's going to happen. That's true of anybody that comes to a new team. You've got to get used to where people are going and how you communicate with each other. But some of the other things that she's done, if you look at that passing, you know, Mark was correct on that. The weight of the pass, the speed, direction, placement, distance. I mean, just really well-timed balls. Things that are just quality. And the quality, when you don't see anything wrong with it, again, when something looks really easy, it's really good. And she makes it look easy, and she makes it look good the way passing should look. And it's beautiful to see.
The first French player to play in the league, Henry, picking up that assist on Nadim's goal off the corner kick. So that's a nice start for Amandine. And we are underway, the second half between the Portland Thorns and Chicago Red Stars, presented by Providence Health and Services. 2-0. The Thorns leading Chicago. They'll take that 2-0 lead, but this is just not at all safe against this explosive Chicago club.
No, you never want to take it for granted. Again, you know, we always talk about it at halftime. If it's 2-0, you talk about it, you know, before, during. You want to make sure that everybody's on the same page and kind of keep that in their mind, that this is not the time to be comfortable. You got to come out. You got 45 more minutes.
Short, beautifully done. Ooh, what a cutback by Short to maintain possession and forcing Betos to her right.
Nicely done by Short. Like you said, get up in the box, make a little move, get the shot off. Wasn't the strongest shot or the shot that you may have wanted, but the nice thing for them is they've come out in the first minute and they're already attacking.
Casey Short could not play in 2013, 2014 with the injuries. Played in Norway last year, so basically this is her first season in the NWSL, and she's been terrific for Chicago.
Yeah, you can see her playing really high up the field, too. You've got those cornerbacks coming up and kind of adding more into the attacking third, and she's up there ready to go forward like she just did.
Throw in. Heath doing a terrific job dispossessing Huerta. Covered by Motts. Dangerous ball here. Nicely defended by Long on DaCosta.
A little bit lucky coming out of the back there.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we like the patience and the confidence that Heath has, but back in there he might sometimes want to just, you know, get the ball up a little bit quicker and not hold on to it quite as long.
Janine, I'll never forget that July 4th game here between these two clubs in 2014, and Portland had the seemingly a 2-0 lead that was seemingly just in the bag, and Press had those 2 late goals in that match, and it ended in a 2-2 tie. So as long as there's a breath on this clock and Press is on the field,
Right, no, she's a quality player. She's one of the best. You know, she's on the national team for a reason, and she is, like I said, a true soccer player, and that's the thing that I always enjoy, is someone that is well-rounded, you know, in all aspects of the game. Goes out there, plays hard, has the technique, has the tactics, and that's her. Good, hardworking, and even plays defense up from a forward, which, you know, is highly unlikely that happens.
Listen to you. Again, Chicago making some early noise. Press leaving it for short. Back post, Motts tried to time that run. The far post was there, but a little deep on that service.
Chicago's very quick in the attack, and they work very well together. So they find each other, they know where each other are either going to be or have great vision, and some very good passing combinations or service to each other. That's spot on. They're not just hitting a spot. They're not hitting, you know, that one place that they think someone's going to be, but they're finding each other and moving the ball really quickly.
Nice job by Sonnet to shield, but still a dangerous ball in the 18.
Yeah, that's a typical ball Press usually gets in on. She just kind of slips in behind, but Sonnet does a really great job to kind of back into her and feel where Press is, so she doesn't lose track of her, and Press also can't get to the ball, which is key. You want to keep her off the ball.
You look at this Portland Thorns defense, and Parsons was the first one to tell us as he went to the locker room at halftime, Janine, that things have got to be more organized, tighter defensively, and yet this is a Portland Thorns defense that hasn't given up multiple goals in a single match all year.
Well, the nice thing is what you're doing is you're seeing his standards of the game, and it's not something that I necessarily would have thought, that they weren't good pressing the ball. I mean, I think there are different, you know, in different positions that might be true because they have gotten service off, but it's not the negative I would have thought of the first thing from the Portland Thorns. So it's good to see, you know, from his eyes what he wants and what he's demanding of him, and that's why they are so good. That's why they don't give up many goals, because they haven't today, and he's saying that it's not good enough. So he's keeping the standard high and he's pressing. He's asking a lot of them, and that way they're going to give it.
Foul whistled against Heath. Whistle blows against Portland more than any other club in the NWSL. Parsons will chalk that up to challenging and being aggressive and going after every loose ball and every ball carrier. Here's a free kick, though, and a dangerous one. Colaprico. Oh, what a collision. Oh, my goodness. Betos goes down, and I'm not sure who she collides with. It's Johnston. It's Johnston who's holding her neck, and you'll see the replay. You could hear that collision from up here.
That's a great ball by Betos to come out of in traffic, past the 6, comes all the way out, doesn't stop, double fists. It's a great ball by her. Unfortunate, we don't want to see anybody, any contact or anybody get injured, but Betos doing her job and doing it well.
Julie Johnston slow to get up, but the U.S. national team player has a word with Betos. Classy move there by both.
Yeah, 2 women that don't stop. You know, 2 women trying to do their jobs, doing them well. Johnston obviously is always a threat in the box. She scores. You know, she's so great when she gets in there, and Betos not hesitating at all, doing the exact right thing. Again, just unfortunate, a little bit of contact, but again, two people just trying to do their jobs.
Rory Dame's not the only one catching his breath on that play. Jill Ellis watching, thinking, oh my goodness, I don't want to lose JJ. Betos just covering her area in her kitchen and denying Johnston there. Whoa. 52nd minute here at Providence Park. Great crowd on hand. And enjoying the 2-0 lead established by the hometown Thorns. Whistle will go against Chicago. Sonnet looks up and then decides to take her time. Heath into space, a bit of a break there as Johnson just boots it out of bounds. So here's Heath again. Corner kick right in front of the Riveters. Johnston heads it out. Heath will flag it down.
It's a nice service in the box, but still, it's just a little bit too far away. You're looking about 13 yards out. Unless that ball is driven and you're running at it, you're just not going to get enough power on those balls. And we've seen about 3 of those type of service played in, and they're just not, you know, again, they're not going to get much out of it off the header.
Both Horan and Sonnet very aggressive, looking to get on the receiving end of one of those services from Heath via the corner. Sonnet passes it right back to Betos. A little wide on that offering, but she's able to find Nadine.
Great little ball from Betos to get to track it down and be accurate, you know, on the service.
Good hustle play by the Thorns to maintain possession. Keeping that ball, possessing some short passes, trying to open something up in the middle. Sink almost loses it. And Henri not knocked off her perch at all. Amandine has press playing catch up, and this is a patient building Thorns offense here, but they give it away. Unlucky there as Menges and Klingenberg not able to combine. Motz knocks it out of bounds.
Nice little interchange from Horan to Heath. The footwork is just so quick.
Back pass not quite there. Heath still working, still working. Gilliland does a nice job. So Horan goes down, or excuse me, knocks Colaprico down. Danny kind of slow getting up there.
Yeah, it looked like her head kind of hit the turf a little bit hard. He's just really trying, Horan was just really trying to tackle the ball. And just kind of both of them came together.
Well, you're right, that head did snap back.
Gotta watch the coconut.
Colaprico, last year's Rookie of the Year in NWSL play. You asked for it, you got it. Now available at your locally owned McDonald's are your favorite breakfast items any time of the day. All day breakfast finally here. Chicago, Rookies of the Year, consecutive seasons. Young talent for the Red Stars. Short again, very clever with the ball. A little hard on that last touch, though, but she's been able to slice through the Portland defense on occasion, Janine.
Yeah, you know, again, just like you just said, a really talented team from Chicago, you know, and you wonder how many of these kids came up through and have been involved in their academy program, and they have a great club there, great history of soccer in Chicago in the area. I mean, it means a lot. It does translate, you know, especially here, players coming back from college, being able to start their journey at club and continue in the same place is really important, and you end up seeing things like this.
Well, Dames is a Chicago native. He knows the local talent. I mean, a great example of what you're talking about is like a Vanessa DiBernardo, University of Illinois, played there. Basically a Chicago metro area kid. They had their eye on her big time.
That's the longevity of the league. That's where things are going to come from, is really, you know, growing it from that youth level and having those pieces fit together all the way through, you know, and that's going to continue developing the soccer, not only in the league, but also in our country, which we need to do, because the rest of the world is catching up, and it's getting smaller and smaller as far as, you know, who's strong, competition, what we can do. So it's one of the big pieces that I'd love to see us continue to do, is really take care of that youth soccer side in this country.
Just saw a great battle between Amandine and Press. Henri drawing the foul, so strong. The core strength, you can see that on the ball, shielding and just not really being knocked off the ball until the foul was committed.
And not really feeling like, you know, there's any kind of stress. Like, again, the confidence on the ball is really big, and not a lot of players have that, or that's something that you really need to develop. So that's a huge part of it, having the strength, using it, and knowing you can use it.
Colaprico on the sideline, getting taped up, probably getting rid of some blood. Referee making sure she's okay to go back in. She'll await clearance. Nicely played by Haran to dispossess Gilliland, and here comes Heath. Colaprico back on the pitch, near sideline. Here's Haran. Haran heavy with that touch.
Hard 1v1 going against a great defender.
You bet. Johnston had her pegged. Quick throw in by Huerta.
They don't wait, do they?
Nicely played by Sonnet, and here's Klingenberg on this near sideline. She'll attract some attention and goes to the middle of the pitch, chested to Heath. Henri switching the point of attack and then following up with Nadine, and the long direct ball to Sinclair. Nifty play by Sinclair, just high with that shot. What a great job Sinclair did to get around Johnston and collect and shoot.
Great first touch off her chest. You can see this ball played in. Takes a great first touch, turns, and just plays, basically gets herself into shooting position and didn't miss by much.
Johnston, I think we all did, thought she had the angle on that play initially, but Sinclair so clever with her body, able to control and then get the shot.
Amazing to think how fast you can work out an angle with a ball coming at you, what you need to do.
Henri doesn't quit on that play. Ball knocked away. Again, you got to tip your cap to Erin Gilliland. She has been all over the pitch tonight, but then gives it up to Long. Here's Short. Chicago looking for a goal that'll get them back into it. Portland leading it 2-0. Great hustle play there by Reynolds. Knocks it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Chicago, but Chicago's gonna first say, wait a second, we'd like our first sub. Taylor Camo getting the nod. Portland Thorn fans remember Camo. Spent last year with Portland, some of the preseason this year with the Thorns and signed with Chicago as a trialist in April. Camo wearing number 7 on the pitch. The Thorns will definitely be missing the services of Meg Morris the rest of the year. That fractured hip against Western New York has her out the rest of the season. Here comes Heath. Heath skidding, and there's Nair as Johnston and Heath. That's quite a battle. Johnston really hanging tough.
It's a nice ball played in by Sink. Puts Heath into a 1v1 battle with Johnston. Tries to get that touch around Johnston, well played. Just enough to disrupt, and that's all you have to do.
Klingenberg wants to cut and turn, finds Henri. Heath on the overlap. She'll hold up just a bit, wants to hold that line. And here's Heath. As that ball is knocked out by Gilliland. Well played by Heath.
She's looking to get a little something out of it, maybe bring it to the corner and you can get the touch off for a corner kick. She does get the throw.
Tight quarters here on this near sideline. And Horan gives it up. It's one she'd like back. Press into space. Huerta doesn't quit on the play. Sophia. She and Menges going toe-to-toe. Emily winning that battle.
She's a tough player, Emily Menges.
Oh.
Some great defending.
Well, you could watch that all day long. Huerta and Menges going toe-to-toe.
Again, you know, Huerta's a formidable player, you know, trying to get in there, but Menges always holds her ground. She does a great job.
'64th minute here at Providence Park. Beautiful night for soccer. Henri goes flying.
I think she might have made a little petit déjeuner out of that one.
Well, listen to you show off. Easy call to make, obviously. You still get the feeling, Janine, that the 2-0 lead for Portland isn't yet enough. And I know we talked about the fact that the Thorns have not given up multiple goals all year long. That's incredible, especially when so many of their matches have been on the road. And yet, Chicago poses all kinds of problems.
Yeah, you know, they don't stop. They're a dynamic team, run a lot, pressure the ball. You know, and as people get tired, all you need to do is really find 1 or 2 holes, you know, and that's a goal or 2.
Klingenberg doing a nice job of evading Motts. Lucky break there, and Long will carry. Long goes flying, will play on. That's a good no call.
Yeah, she tried to split those two defenders, which, you know, she had Nadim on the outside. It's kind of a choice what you want to do, and she thought maybe she could get through, but that would have put her on goal. Instead of giving the ball wide again, she's already in the middle. So, you know, it's worth a try once. Just don't do it again.
Parsons talked about how patient his club needs to be. Have we been seeing that?
I think so. You know, I mean, we haven't had, or Thorns haven't had a lot of movement up and around the box with Chicago backed up, which is one of the times that you really see a true test of patience, right? When you see the goal, you're close to the goal, and you're waiting for that space. They, you know, play it in, get the shot off. You know, decent shot. And again, that's what she needed to do. She's faced up to goal. She has the touch. It's not a bad choice.
Look at Sonnet.
Super Sonnet.
Oh boy, Sonnet again. Marked by Short. Nicely played by Casey Short. Sonnet had split both defenders and was carrying it and covering a ton of real estate. Sonnet is called the voice of the back line by Parsons. He loves this rookie. Klingenberg. Gilliland nicely played. Look at Kling asking for help and gets it from Menges. And there's Betos to mop up.
Nothing like a little support from each other. You got the nice coverage both from your other back and your goalkeeper. So nice, good defending.
That's good tag team defense. Klingenberg looking for Menges.
Yeah, Menges is right there in a good cover position. Michelle ready to come off her line, and she's been doing really well with that today. Just like that ball, she had to come and clear away off the punch.
So Michelle Betos getting the starting nod between the pipes for the Portland Thorns. French a little nicked up, and it's kind of been 1A and 1B for the Thorns this year with great results.
Chicago looks for that service a lot over the top in behind the defender, so you're kind of, you know, seeing short on the outside, looking across. It's a nice switch. It's a really nice idea. Maybe a little bit too high up on the field, you know, where Klingenberg was able to head it away.
'68th minute corner for the Red Stars. Wouldn't they love a set piece goal here? Press sends it right back.
Great job of clearance both times by Horan.
Long, very patient. You could hear Betos calling for it. Klingenberg passes it right back with a little pace too, because she knows Chicago always lurking around that 18. Unlucky there for Kress. Horan doesn't have enough on that back tap, but somehow, some way, the Thorns retain possession. Heath on this near sideline has some help with Amandine. Heath and Gilliland. Heath turns, looking to send that cross.
I love that she'll try to have the service. Heath will try to have the service left, won't find anything, will cut right, look for the service right, and not find anything and come back again left. Just that she's willing and able to do either side is a great little view for young players and what they should be able to do and what that can open up for you on the touch.
So that'll be it for Amandine Henry. What a home debut for the French international. She collects and assists, plays some 68 minutes, 69 minutes. Very impressive. Brynja's daughter on the pitch now for the Thorns.
That's a great showing. It's a great welcome to Portland. You know, Henri did an awesome job. Again, we talked about the subtle touches. 70 minutes is a long time to play, as far as, especially when you're being introduced into a team and kind of get there. So great welcome to her and on the Thorns side.
During the next 2 weeks, your local Toyota dealers will be giving away 2017 Thorns FC season tickets when you purchase a new Toyota while supplies last. Visit your local dealer or buyatoyota.com to find the right vehicle for you. Hurry! This promotion ends July 5th.
So you see with the introduction of Dagny, Mark Parsons talked about perhaps Sinclair dropping a little bit lower into that kind of attacking position instead of the forward position. So Dagny may find herself up top, or her and Sink may join in. But then now, Horan is a little bit lower, playing next to Long.
Okay. Way to break it down as Jen Hoy reports for duty. Unlucky as Heath loses it out of bounds. You don't see that happen very often. Jen Hoy, a scoring threat. Heath with the double.
We used to say when I played that they're toying with players, and I think Tobin Heath is kind of toying with that back a little bit.
Knocked it off of Gilliland, short corner. Klingenberg looking for some room, sends it right back to Long.
Good switch of field, trying to find that open space, opening up Chicago a little bit.
Long tripped up. was slow to get up. A candidate to make the U.S. women's national team for the Rio Olympics goes to the ground hard.
Kind of hard to take that step when you think a foot's going to be there, and it's just not there.
So a free kick for the Thorns here in the 72nd minute. Portland leading Chicago 2-0. First place on the line in NWSL play. Another Thorns goal, Janine, would look huge this late in the game. Nair getting set.
I think it'd be nice they just take the shot. Just look to the upper corner. If it's in their distance, which this is generally a really nice distance for a shooter, either one of those two. And Heath has got a great ball. You know Horan can hit a ball. Just bent upper corner.
Skied it, did Heath. You saw her reaction. Nair didn't have to move a muscle on that one. Just got under it.
The killer thing about the bent ball is either bends or it doesn't. And when they don't, they look a little bit off. But we know she can do it. We know she's got a great shot, and sometimes it just doesn't. You just kind of don't connect in the place in the ball that you're really trying to get to.
Right now, between Heath and Press, you're looking at the leading candidates, as far as I'm concerned, for MVP at this point in the season. What do you think, Janine?
I don't know. You know, I mean, it's a hard call. I really respect these players, and there's so many beautiful little things that are going on. To pick one, I think, to be honest, is kind of hard.
Leaving it on that near sideline, Gilliland 1v1 against Klingenberg, and there's Heath to help out. Again, a lot of help defense for the Portland Thorns. We saw that against Seattle here at Providence Park over and over and over again as Little and Fishlock looked to get unleashed, and the Thorns would have none of it.
Yeah, you can see them kind of fighting for each other, and Heath dropping lower and helping out defensively, which is what they need. They need to be solid and, you know, compact the field to take away those holes or those passing channels so they can't get split or can't get through. Again, Chicago likes to look for that ball over the top quite often, so you also have to watch that space behind. But Betos has done a really good job kind of watching that, coming off her line very quickly. You know, Emily Sonnet cutting out all of those balls, kind of services with her head. So the Thorns are looking like they're solidifying themselves and really tightening up and trying to keep that goal difference to where it is now.
Short doing her thing again. Reynolds with the foul, dangerously close to that foul happening inside the 18, but a great scenario if you're a Red Star fan. Here in the 75th minute. Oh boy.
A little tough place, low or really high on the field for Chicago, and a lot of bodies inside that 6.
Ball dangerously swept off the line, still alive, and Betos just sweeps everybody away with that left hand, saying, "I got it."
That was a very persistent play by Michelle Betos, coming out a little bit of a swing on the first one, just trying to cover the ball, gets a touch off it to move the ball and knows where it's going, and then just picks it up. Safety is in her hands.
Boy, that flurry near the 6 almost resulted in Chicago's goal. Chested down, and Menges gives it right up to Gilliland. Chicago looking to strike.
Talk about being compact. You know, you've got everybody between the bottom of the arc and the top of the 18. So Thorns really trying to compress the field a little bit on defense and make sure that they don't cause any holes.
76th minute, still 2-0. Both goals coming in the first half for the Thorns. Heath just knocking it around, never loses control, ball on a string. Brynja's daughter realizes she chested that right down to Colaprico. So Chicago still with the ball in their offensive third. Nicely played there to Press. So close to that touch line. Huerta, she's already hit the post and just wide and draws the foul.
Fortunate little elbow in the back from Heath. Again, they're pressing. We talked before about changes in momentum, you know, and I think we've seen a couple in the last 15 minutes. Seemed like Chicago had some. Thorns were trying to break out of it. But again, this is Chicago pressing again. Chicago trying to go forward, looking for things, and really trying to push the game.
DiBernardo. DiBernardo again, as that ball is knocked off Klingenberg.
Klingenberg not giving very much up. You know, she's right on there covering the ball, making sure that there's no dangerous service into the box.
Colaprico, who takes most of the Chicago Red Stars corner kicks, will take the short corner here and then leave it. Press with a little pop, was able to put it in the 6-yard area, and there's Betos again. Short bearing down, Betos making the save.
Well played. She's done an excellent job coming off her line, making sure that everything's safe. Again, ball in her hands is a lot safer than any place else when it's in the box. So it's a great job coming out.
Betos, who was nicked with that shoulder injury late in the FC Kansas City road game way back in April. Some nerve damage in the right shoulder has impacted her play, but she has been stellar tonight.
You see that ball over the top to Press.
You bet.
Very dangerous.
Oh, what a cross by Press.
Nice and calm from Klingenberg, just to knock it out on the other side. Allow her team to fall back and defend together.
So Mallory Weber looking to check into the match for Nadim. Nadia with a really good game for the Thorns, picking up that goal in the first half to give Portland the 2-0 lead, her third tally of the season. And Weber, the rookie out of Penn State, checks in. You're looking at the standings right now. This is the only game in league play tonight. And if Portland can hang on to the 2-0 lead, they will be atop the table. And Chicago, though, will not go away.
No, still, it's a great shot from Colaprico, but Betos is there ready to cover. She's been very good and concentrating the entire time. She's covered up every shot. She's been moving, coming off her line. Very solid goalkeeping from Betos.
Attendance just announced, just a hair under 17,000. They're saying 16,931. And the fans treated to a terrific game between two of the league's finest. Gilliland snuffed by Heath and Long. Hey folks, follow the Thorns with flights to over 40 cities Alaska Airlines serves from Portland, including Boston, Dallas, and 4 LA area airports. For Alaska's lowest prices, visit alaskaair.com. 17 grand on hand. The Thorns continue to set the pace attendance-wise in the NWSL. They've done that since the league's inception.
Great city, great support, great night.
Menges does it again. Emily Menges has just been a rock on that defensive line. '81st minute. Another opportunity for the Red Stars. But before we put the ball in play, Casey Short will check out. Really a wonderful match for Short. And the Notre Dame grad Katie Naughton will check in, wearing number 5.
Good young player. Generally plays in the midfield, I believe. Last time I saw her, been fortunate enough to coach her a little bit at a national team camp. Good quality player. Bring in, look maybe for a little bit more of an attack.
Just a great play by Betos to parry that ball out of trouble. Some serious bend on that swinger from the corner kick, and look at Betos just punch that thing out of harm's way. Michelle has been fearless. Clock ticking along, 82nd minute here at Providence Park.
Looks like you have Johnston moving a little bit higher up in the field, trying to get a little bit more into the attack. Chicago pressing forward, really moving numbers up in there, trying to press the game a little bit in the last 8 minutes.
Chicago will kind of take its time, but not a whole lot. Getting the ball in play is going to be really critical for them here in the 83rd minute. And speaking of taking her time, you know Michelle will do just that. Janine, if this score holds, it would be an absolute massive victory for the Portland Thorns. Once again, 4th time in 5 weeks going into this match, facing the league's top team. And they haven't faltered yet in terms of a defeat. This, if it holds true to a victory, would be 3 points in a huge way.
You know, the nice thing is obviously the points, and that's the thing that usually gets talked about. But I think for me, the bigger thing is what it means to the team to play a good game of soccer, to really play well, to be coming together as a team and getting to know each other in each game, playing better and better, and they look really solid. And that's the thing that they get to carry in, not only the points, but they get to carry that forward into the season. And basically, it's a look into what you know you can do.
That is some calm defense in a dangerous area. Klingenberg and Long and Heath. Menges has been in the mix over and over.
I'm not sure, though, if I had to play behind Heath and she was that calm in those areas, I think I might need a little defibrillation.
Beautiful back pass. Nicely played by Sonnet, hustling over. Portland's defense getting organized on the throw-in.
I tell you, Chicago's a really good, solid attacking team. You know, you can't tell by the scoreboard, but again, some of the passes, they're really quick, outside of the foot, combinations, playing to each other, some really good connections between these midfielders and forwards.
Long shucking off Gilliland, and Alley here in the 85th minute will pause as Rasso will look to take the pitch for the Portland Thorns. Coming out, Captain Sinclair, who got everything started in the 6th minute with the goal that gave Portland the 1-0 lead, and the captain's armband will go to Tobin Heath. Sink getting a huge ovation. Sinclair with goals in 3 consecutive games. Two of those matches have come against Chicago, in which she has scored, including tonight. Grasso whistled for that foul. 86th minute. Chicago has got to hurry.
Yeah, there's not much time left. There's still enough to do something here, and you can see, like we said, they've been pressing, they've been coming forward, they're not going to stop. It's just going to be harder and harder.
Heath has got her hand on the overlap. There's Lindsay.
Lindsay trying to just back heel it for Heath, but she does get the touch, giving them the throw.
Nice job by Huerta. Klingenberg tries to dispossess, and finally it's Long coming away with it.
Yeah, Mangus, though, in that battle, too, not giving Huerta any space on that, didn't let her get anywhere. And again, the Thorns are helping each other out. There's some very good team defending going on where it's not just watching the one player battle, but people helping out.
Heath looking for help. Johnston does a really nice job of shielding.
Nice little footwork out of Johnston, too.
Unless absolute catastrophe would strike, as we are in the 88th minute, the Portland Thorns are looking at this 2-0 lead to hold up. The Thorns, knowing that a victory will put them in first place in NWSL play. Only once this season has Chicago been kept off the board, and that was a 0-0 tie against FC Kansas City on May 13th. So much scoring power. You can't ask your defense and keeper to keep this club off the board. But so far, Portland has been able to do just that. Betos.
Again, really well off her line. Trying to cut down that space, making sure that there's not any kind of clear touch that any Chicago player could have. But again, safe in her hands, coming out, taking control of the situation. Great job by Michelle Betos.
Hoy has got the good pace and was really bearing down hard on Michelle. 89th minute. Mangus off her noggin, is adept at finding Haran, and Long will find Rasso on the run. Well played by Naughton there. It was a foot race.
Good to see the young player come in and do really well.
Rasso just a pop. Australian international. Portland really taking its time here in the 90th minute. We can count on a bunch of stoppage time. So Portland's got to be very, very careful. This game ain't over yet. Long finding Rasso on the other. Beautiful centering pass to Brynja's daughter, who isn't able to time it. What a crossing pass by Rasso.
That's some great movement. Long is able to pick up the ball, play Rasso immediately as fast as she can. First time from Rasso. Dagny's almost there.
We're just told that a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time added as Haran lets the defense overrun her and calmly passes it back to Heath. 4 minutes, Janine, an eternity.
Again, you can do a lot in 4 minutes, just like you said. So, with the pressing Chicago team, Thorns have to keep on this and make sure that they do everything right, continue to defend as a team.
Heath attracts the double. Nice help by Haran. Nicely played by Lindsay. Evading the defenders. Heath maybe a little too clever there. DiBernardo. Oh boy. Press smacks it right into Betos' chest. A little bit of a miscommunication there defensively for the Thorns, almost cost him.
Well, she has got to be careful. You know, Betos has been really good coming off her line, but sometimes you need to let the defenders do their job first. And she's right there. She's lined up, which is really good, and she gets the deflection. So, you know, that's excellent positioning. But sometimes you try to do a little bit too much, and you do somebody else's job.
I hear you. Sonnet was right there, wasn't she?
Yeah, you've got sometimes that little patience, especially in the end of the game when your emotions and everything is kind of, you know, getting the better of you. It's hard to get that calming effect for yourself.
Heath with the little shove will play on, advantage Chicago. Gilliland tees it up, dangerous ball. There's Betos again, timing it beautifully.
That's a great ball. She has enough space. She's not really challenged, but if she just leaves that ball, it could be really dangerous. Nice of her to come off in that instance, get it, just kind of slow it down and put it in her hands.
Chicago throwing everything at the Thorns during stoppage time here. We're told a minimum of 4 minutes. We're over 2 minutes into stoppage time play.
Great little touch by Rasso.
Look at Rasso.
Still going.
Oh my! How Weber missed that is anybody's guess. What a play and pass by Rasso. Oh my! A sitter. That would have absolutely put this thing to bed. Deep into stoppage time. Rasso has been a spark off the bench.
That was just such a great initial touch by her to just get a little bit on that ball to redirect it and get herself in. Great play.
Count on those two getting a lot of playing time. Rasso and Weber. And the 6 or 7 players are called to their respective national teams for the Olympics. There's Heath. Heath knows that the ball at her feet is an awfully good thing. Gives it right up, though. Tobin looks a little gassed at this point. Press will not be denied. Skips right over Horan. Press. Remember, she'll pull the trigger.
I think Kristen takes her name very seriously. Kristen Press. Always consistent, always good. So nice to see, you know, the player that keeps playing. I mean, she's played the whole game at the same pace. It's been 100% smart, not just running around, you know, without thought, but playing really well and really trying to do the right things and giving her team all that she can.
Earn that captain's armband. We're over 4 minutes of stoppage time, and there it is. The final score, the Portland Thorns 2, Chicago 0. A huge victory for the Portland Thorns, leaping atop the NWSL standings.
Great game. Great to see these two teams play against each other. Again, a good contest all the way around without stopping. You know, they kept going. They kept working. Each team, Chicago trying to get those 2 goals back, looking forward. You know, putting people up in the attack, trying to work together, and they do have a very good attack. I think that says a lot for the Portland Thorns defense, that they can hold them scoreless, even with some really good interchanges and plays, especially with players like Press and Huerta. You got DiBernardo. Just a really good, solid Chicago team. So a well-earned win for the Thorns.
The Thorns didn't take long to find the back of the net. Christine Sinclair lurking ever dangerously in the 6th minute.
Christine Sinclair, again, always the hardest worker on the field, trying to get Nadim in and just continues on. She sees the ball, it's loose around in the box, doesn't stop, earns the goal.
Johnston gives Sinclair the opening, and Sink scores for the 3rd straight game. Sofia Huerta, speaking of dangerous, awfully close with the equalizer attempt.
Just 2 touches, hits it well, I think off the outside of her foot.
And here's Nadim finding the back of the net for the Thorns' 2nd goal of the first half.
Great serve in from Heath. That's just a great finish. You've got 2 touches on it, players where they should be.
And the clean sheet for Michelle Betos. What a gamer tonight.
Not a hesitation from her. Comes off the line to clear it. Again, with another punch, she's doing well, commanding her box. She owns the box.
Joining us now is Captain Sink, Christine Sinclair. Thank you very much for taking the time and help us understand how important, how critical this home victory is for the Thorns.
Oh, I mean, it was huge for us, you know. First place now, and to win the series against Chicago, I think, is huge. But, you know, it's been a while since we've played a game at home, and it's nice to give these fans a victory.
Christine, if you can describe your team or how they played tonight, how would you describe it?
It was weird. It's almost like we toy with Chicago in the sense that I thought in the second half, very rarely did we get out of second or third gear, yet we're able to obviously keep a shutout. I thought you saw in the first half, every time we went forward, we looked dangerous. We're just a tight group, front to back. I mean, all the credit to our back line and Mish tonight for keeping a shutout. And, you know, we can score some goals too.
A short turnaround for you guys heading to Orlando, which makes tonight even bigger.
Absolutely. You know, it's a tough couple weeks for us. I think we have 4 games in just over 2 weeks. So getting the wins now is very important, knowing that we've got a long trip ahead of us to Orlando, and they're a quality team, obviously.
Sink, thanks so much for taking the time, and congrats.
Thank you.
That's Christine Sinclair scoring for the 3rd straight match, and her goal in the 6th minute got the Portland Thorns on the board, propelling the Thorns to the 2-0 victory over Chicago. Our next home game, Janine, July 2nd, the Thorns hosting Sky Blue FC, but work to do before then, that is for sure, with Orlando just around the corner. So that'll do it from Providence Park in downtown Portland. The Thorns beating Chicago 2-0. The Thorns leap atop the table and now sit in first place in NWSL standings, and the Thorns unbeaten now in 10 straight games. For Janine Sparra and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Ann Schott saying so long from Providence Park. Thanks so much for joining us, and see you again July 2nd.